How's everyone? Welcome to Tiny Races. Now, what have we got? Make sure I'm not on the gravel bike. Let's change to these wheels until we work out what's this first stage going to be like. Should we sign into? We'll sign into this one. Just a quick look. Helicopter flies over. I've had the Mooney Valley races just nearby, so I think the helicopters are all gone anyway. What have we got? I can't use that one, can I? I'm just going to check to see what the tiny races are. And this one. And then get back into the... Now I'm just going to turn up the Zwift sounds a little bit. See if that... I hope it turned up that much. No, I'll turn it down, just in case. Okay, so I might as well jump into the pen just in case I forget. Don't really care about upgrading bikes and XP at the moment. So Glasgow reverse. Definitely. So my score at the moment, does it show it? Yeah, 686. So potentially this could be a very, very tough. If I accidentally get two, well, I wouldn't say accidentally, if I amazingly get two good results, I have to be racing in that 1000 level. Okay, so where's Zwift Insider? As I do my warm up, should get the chat up, shouldn't I? Just in case someone actually responds to my message. Zwift Insider, tiny races. Danny's Crit Week. Okay, so Glasgow reverse, brace yourself for attacks on the Clyde kicker reverse and make sure you time the final bit just right. Aero. Okay, so I've got to remember not to use the aero this time. Done that reverse. Barrel up. Aero again. And then downtown Dolphin. Three laps. So it's Crit City, 2 laps. I mean, 2 directions. I don't know. I like Crit City, but not sure if I like in the tiny races. And then the Crit Course, New Yokio. Castle Park Rise. So for the finish, aero. So all aero power-ups. All Crit courses pretty much. They're all, depending on how people turn up. There's only 38 in the course at the moment. Sure, there's going to be more than that by the time we start. I suppose it is still 6 minutes to go. Now, show my gears work properly. Rather worryingly, my pairing screen, it didn't show my what are they called? The plays, the Zwift plays. Didn't show them. Showed one, not the other. So I'm hoping that they don't run out of battery. Said it was 50%. Because I haven't got manual gears on this, I've only got virtual gears on this bike, so. Okay. Got no weird things happening with my mouse this week. It's good. Does show my mouse here yet? Alright. Now it's a reverse, so there is an enormous chance to steer to a top 10 here. I think must have been 4 weeks ago, maybe. Doesn't feel like that long ago, but I'm sure because I missed a tiny race. So I suppose at least 3 weeks anyway that we did this course. I think I was in the same, it was the same group, 510 to 700, and I got, I forgot if I got 12th or 8th or 6th, something like that. How's the sound? It looks like my microphone's a little bit loud sometimes. Maybe I'll just touch it down. There we go. Guys made the microphone away, I suppose. I've got this screen. I got that screen. This is my race screen, I think. Where's my tiny races? What's happened to my stream text? Where did it go? There it is. Bit over here. Of course, I got that one too. Is that going to work? Why is it not working? There we go. Don't know why I had to press it twice. I was going to use Meld, but I couldn't actually use that on Meld. And not that I've ever used that before, but I set up Meld. For those that don't know, it's a streaming software. I couldn't use that scene. It wouldn't let me use a file because I think it's an alpha channel file, maybe. So, just wouldn't let me use it at all. Right, where am I meant to go? Back to... I think this is a good just chatting scene because you got the chat. If anyone ever does chat, you can still see the race. Scene 1 may be the best one. I'll go to that during the race. Wow, way too loud then. Turn the volume down. Way too loud. Turn the fan on. That's as well. I check the fan. It's not facing towards me. Is it going to fall off? That's precariously balancing. 1 2 1 2 testing. Yeah, it looks like the... Maybe I'll turn the volume down just a touch again. 1 2 1 2. Okay, I think that's all right. I can move the microwave away. I can move the microphone away from me a bit in the race, maybe. So then get my huffing and puffing. All right, 37 seconds left. Definitely staying with the disc because it's a downhill, sort of a downhill sprint, isn't it? All right. Cheers, Vita. Okay. Here we go. Race screen set up. Why can't I change my gears? Where's my virtual gears? This is what I thought. I was worried about happening. I can't see my virtual gears, can I? Where's A? You useless thing. Come on, gears. There we go. So lucky it's not a tiny race or anything. I thought it was reversed. Okay, not reversed. Cheers, Lee. Are you in this race? I thought we're doing the river. Or is it still reverse? Yeah, it is reverse. Got myself confused. Last time we did this course, I was hearing this. Oh, what is that steering? I think when the batteries get low, not even that low, but like 50% on the Zoo Plays, they do stupid stuff. Steering becomes really inaccurate. Everyone's used the aero, which is great for me. I'm not getting any ride-ons because I used my arrow accidentally. Okay, set it up for this lap. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Now to recover. People using the arrows. It's good for me. For those that don't know, there's only one power up each race, which I keep forgetting. Anyone else watching? I suppose you're probably not doing this if you're watching. Who plans on doing this later? It's not too bad in terms of, at least there's no climbs at the end. I suppose it's more for sprinters, but there's no grade finishes on this one. A little bit of momentum. Fire socks and lightning socks going everywhere. Find a gap. There you go. Someone's made an early move. I don't call it. Oh no, they're still there. I think. Yeah, they're still there. Just out the front. Just. That's not good news, but hopefully you start getting better. But she'll be back on the bike some stage. All right, here we go. Concentrate. 600 meters, 500 meters. I want to be on the outside of this corner to get the inside for the next. Stay in the draft. Go. Get that guy. I unclipped almost. Thought I did anyway. Fourth. My pedal came right left. Cleat came really loose. Felt like I unclipped. I think it was a 1 place improvement from last time, taking you away, Lee. I was a bit worried I started sprinting too late. I was a bit worried I started sprinting too early because I started losing the draft near the finish. I eased up just a touch and then went hard. Such a tough finish to judge. I think it sneaks up on people. Usually when it says 400 to go. People are going like crazy. People haven't started yet. That's right, I can't U-turn here. I was really worried at the start. Let's charge the zip players while we're riding because I can't plug them into that one. What can I plug it into? I think I've got a, where is it? Try. Alrighty, we'll try this. Oops, wrong thing. That thing. I'm so bad at clipping in these days. Okay, end vent, end ride, tongue line. Alright, so this is Crit City again, isn't it? Or something. It's another crit course, so we'll keep the discs. Come on. Let's get into the pen. Are the clicks version 2? How long did the battery last on those? Can you recharge them like this, or do you have to get them off the bike? I want to go. What's my score, by the way? 689. Whoa. That was last time. We're doing now Crit City, both directions. Forget which direction it starts with. And then Mercury for race 4. All right, trying to sweat in the charging ports. Get some more sugar on. I'm at the front of the pen because I signed in early. It's not such a hack anymore. I miss the events where you had 500 people on the pen. So you had to sign up 25 minutes before the event, or you'd never see the front with a 100 draw distance. Okay, so 2 laps, or 3 laps, I should say, 3 laps of, I think it's the bell lap. I should say it on that, yeah, the bell lap. How's the sound? Is Zwift sound too loud, or is it fine? Here we go. Got gears this time. Seated Pogacar sprint. Worked last time. I think I got a good result that race because people burnt all their arrows, didn't they? Bit of an advantage knowing you don't get more than one. See people throw theirs early now. Get to the back of the line. I can't. Take the long way around. There we go. pretty compressed at the front. A bit of momentum here just in case. There we go, people are realising in the chat there's only one power up, which the people just threw their power up now be feeling a bit annoyed about. I much prefer the other direction. Much prefer it. It's not draggy like this one. It's just one effort, really. One short sprint. Well, sort of sprint. This one's draggy. Having said that, I'll probably do better on this finish than the other direction. People don't race this one as much, I think, so they don't know the finish as well. On the other direction, everyone knows you need to be going by that corner or it's too late. It's very compact, the group. Probably too. That's why I like it. That's 2 down. I think also because the big effort comes just before the finish. Whereas this one, the big effort comes and then got a lot of rest, theoretically, until the last sprint. Well, someone's having a crash. Don't miss a draft. Just got it. Almost lost it. I didn't put a little push in like I did the first lap. That was the difference. Gotta do that again the last lap. The push, I mean, not get to lose the draft almost. It depends where they start going. Usually, in the races I've done, you start accelerating here through the group. Not sprinting, but moving through the group. And then, once you come around this corner, this is all full gas from here. But, that's the top swingers. For this group, I don't know. They do tend to sprint later. It's not really a chance to get away early here. It's fast into the finish. There's no slow bits. Is this my race screen? That's my race screen. Here we go. Save the energy. Save the energy. A little push just here. That'll do. Another crash. Someone stretched it out. It's good. That's what I want. Oh, almost I've lost the draft there, almost. Okay, here we go. Build it up. Too late. I got too far back. It did start pretty early. I got too far back and lost the draft for a bit. Had to close it down. But by then, that all got too far up the road. I had so much momentum, but too far back. I don't think I could even see the front. There was those 3 or 4 riders in front of me. I trusted. They let me down. All right, on the other direction. You can see how much momentum I had. I thought, okay, I fixed this. We're coming through the group quite fast. I thought, okay, when we get to the last right-hand turn, I should start to see the front. Got to the right-hand turn. The rider's already finishing. Oh well. Live and learn. That's the thing about trying to be as efficient as possible. Had to rely on others. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That time it definitely didn't. Alright, other direction this time. Do I get a power up? No, I don't. This one do. It's downhill. Kind of feels weird you don't get a power up here, even in free ride, but I can imagine why they did do it. Because the banners will be too close together. Okay. get to the bottom. Don't know why, I don't care about XP or miles. And ride. Oh, should have done the timeline after the sprint. You can see there's only, well, I say only, I haven't got that big a sprint, only when I'm fresh. But there was a long dragged out moment here to catch the draft. Why is there so many pictures? Yeah, it's just I got too far back. If I'd had the draft, if I didn't lose the draft, I had the draft, I would have had more momentum and been further up the road. So, what do they say, right place, wrong time? I just underestimated how far up the road they got. And also the gap. Lots of excuses. Lots of excuses. All right, this is a good direction. Yeah, you could hear me saying that. I was like, oh, this is actually good that it stretched out for me, but I thought I'd blown my hands, but it didn't. Oh, next time, which is like in 8 seconds time. All right, Pogacar, seated acceleration. I wonder if people realise I don't have arrows. Well, I've only got one arrow this time. Not that person. I know, it was a thumbs up. Thought it was an arrow. I know there is an arrow. That person. Maybe they thought they'll give me a thumbs up. Accidentally use the arrow like I do. And they pulled the pin out of... Hey, cut the corner. Someone already way out the front. Oh, their eyes dropping back quickly. What's going on? There's a rider way up the road. All right. He's up. The rider's still away. Got a huge gap. Come on, I want to go forward. Stop it. I hate that the rider list is so useless. If I close the map down, there we go. Someone's miles up the road. Yeah, exactly. It's still hard, but you can see, get momentum into that short straight into it, rather than trying to accelerate after you've hit the climb. not going to catch that rider, I don't think. The group haven't caught him now. Unless he blows up, or she. Because we're only going to go slower and slower. I love this downhill section here. Oh, my heart's beating slightly irregular. Let's see how we go here. Not too bad. Got sight of that rider. I might try and chase him down now. Maybe he's blown up. Did they disappear? I feel like we lost a dot on the map. Yeah, I think that second lap, it might have gone slightly softer. I think people adjusted though. Went a little bit harder. Is there another green blob up the road? Can't tell. There's at least one. No, it's just one. The other one I saw was come from the other direction. They'll do well to start the road here because we're closing them down now. I think the other rider blew up. Yeah, they're not getting away now. We'll be caught in this climb. So they are right ahead. Oh, yes. It's the first time I've actually had that. Oh. That was so hard. I think I got much better than the first one. Well, the first one at Downtown Titans. No, whatever it's called, Crit City. I think so. I think I was the top, maybe top 15. Where's my graph? Oh, 777 again. It's pretty much that before, wasn't it? Could see the sprint into the rollers and then on the rollers and then coming towards that corner. '15th, that was close. 16th. '15th. I'm happy with that. I think people are also getting much better at not using their power up. I can do a U-turn. I could have done a U-turn that first race. I didn't realise. Got to go 5 kilometres an hour there. I mean, I probably could have been further up, but probably wouldn't have had such a big sprint if I was further up. Not that it was a big sprint, but you've got to juggle the keeping fresh enough to have a sprint and being near the front. Surprising though, there's the last 2 races, the sprints have started further back than I thought. This one I can understand in terms of there was a rider up ahead. Maybe there was a rider in that first race. I do remember thinking, well, the second race. I do remember seeing a rider going down that hill in front. Might be the same rider. That's what I love about Swift racing, or any racing, is that every time you do the race, sometimes you do a perfect sprint, exactly the right time, and then you do exactly the same thing as last time. Thanks, Tom, but I'm not using my companion app, so I can't PM you or DM you. You do the sprint exactly the same time next time, and it's an absolutely atrocious time. You've really got to try and read the pack and get lucky. And also, yeah, as you say, and if you can do 2,000 watts, you can be dumb as hell. If you can do 1,200 watts after you're gassed, then you make your own luck. For the rest of us, it's always astonishment if you win. I love that graffiti wall. Need more of that in the Zwift. Alright, entering. Whoops, I didn't check to see if I had my graph in there. Oh well. I think it was in there. Doesn't really matter because I think all of my tiny races, the first 3 don't get published on Strava because I got the minimum distance set. And I don't use Strava anymore. Well, I do, but I really only use Strava because there's notifications. I check the notifications to make sure no one said anything. And then no one said anything, so stop. I get out of it. Occasionally I'll give kudos to someone or whatever it is for Strava, but this is an odd view. There we go. Yeah, it's always down down to timing and who's in their race. I always find that if there's only one person in the race, sometimes I can outsmart them. Alright, so this is Crit City, what is it, Crit Neokyo Crit or whatever it is. Oh, Neokyo Crit course, yeah. Helps that they write it on the list. What do you reckon of this view? I like this view, but don't have a big enough Zwift screen. If you're watching it on a big monitor, that's fine, so you got me in a huge view. I got that one. Again, Zwift is tiny. And then I got that one. I think this one's the best for racing. Because you just need to see my stupid face in smaller detail. I like this one though, because you got the chat. But it's good if you've got the chat there for when people don't get to watch the race live and the race hasn't been processed yet. No one can see the chat. Because a lot of times I like to watch races for what's happening in the chat. Here we go. Let's do a standing start this time. Well, that's standing acceleration start. They're always a standing start. I think I like seated starts better for easier starts like this. Only one lap. Last chance for glory. There's two riders off the front. I was thinking about jumping across to them, Thomas, but they've been caught. Thank God. I was thinking about how hard it would be. Let's make the mini map smaller again. Okay, here we go. Stretched out up this hill. Okay. Got no matches to burn here. I've got like a, you know those matches, the last ones on the box that are broken. So like half a stick. That's what I got left in the box. Someone's tried to light it a couple of times too. It hasn't lit. Thanks, John. Good to see you. I'll look for it. Let me tip it out. Slow pace here. Slow pace. Draw them out. Probably do nothing. Okay, long sprint again. Don't get left behind. Get in front of me. I got to. 14th. $7.92. I was like, don't sprint late, don't sprint late. Oh, you're off the front. I got someone's wheel for a little bit, but they're obviously a cheat. They could sprint. But I tried to get out of the draft. Well, trying to not give anyone the draft. It was like, okay, I might be able to make the finish line. Let's have a look behind. It was like a wave. It's more aero, Thomas. Scientifically proven. If you turn your head around as you're sprinting, your center of gravity gets lower. Funny thing was, that was actually, besides the first race, that was my best result, I think. Oh, did I get 14th the last race? But it felt like I messed it up the most. Yeah. If you believe it, it's true. The annoying thing is, because Zwift removed the free kilometers on your account if you don't pay. I'm trying to press gears. I've only got one gear left and it's it. It's like when you're riding outdoors up a hill. So I can't do my tests because I can't use my other accounts. You've got to pay for it. It's one of the reasons why I'm just going outdoors and just walking around the neighbourhood. The other reason is it's the only time I get a chance to record stuff, really. It's actually quicker to record stuff outdoors because whatever take you get. The problem with doing it here is if I do a take, if I go to look at it in the review, I was like, oh no, I'll just chuck that out. I'll record it again later and then never record it. So no one watches the outdoor stuff, but that's not really the point. I've actually got, I'll leave it for the next video because I should actually be editing a video right now, but I've got a purchase announcement because that's what you do on YouTube, isn't it? Announce purchases, because I'm not sponsored, because I'll be heading to China for 2 weeks. Guangzhou, Zhuhai, Shenzhen, maybe Hong Kong. We'll see, because Shenzhen's right next to, well, they're all right next to Hong Kong, but taking the bullet train to Shenzhen, spending the night there, then probably going either back to Guangzhou by ferry or we'll see, or go to Hong Kong and then back to Guangzhou. So I've been doing the outdoor videos just to work out what I need to do for travel videos, what works and what doesn't. So far I worked out what doesn't work, but because when I get 50 views is better than nothing. Imagine, I don't know how many people enjoy it, but at least maybe 40 people click on it. I think the rest of them are me clicking on it to see if it's working properly. Bikes for likes. I've heard a few stories about what China was like years ago. They've really, well, the government's gone in and cracked down, haven't they? I'll put the videos up on another channel because, like the vlogs I'm doing at the moment, it's not really Zwift content. I discuss one topic I like about Zwift and the rest of it's just me wandering around. But if I just do videos about China on my Zwift channel, no one's going to watch it. But I'll make another channel. Exactly, like that's the thing, I shouldn't be complaining about 50 views. It's actually a lot of views. If I go to the pub and 50 people sit there and listen to me talking, I'd feel like an absolute legend. Rather than me talking over the top of 50 people. But it's funny because you make a video about like how to get faster without doing anything on Zwift, and you get people clamoring to watch it. But I could do those videos. I just don't. There's only so many videos you can do with that. You can see a lot of the YouTubers who get sort of around 1,000, 2,000 subs. They're all thinking about making videos of, if you're new to Zwift, this is what I do. If I just started Zwifting, this is what I do. How to raise my FTP. Which is, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing those videos, but the thing is, you do 2 or 3 of those videos and then what have you got? Can't really build a channel on that. Someone like Daz Carter, he probably streams 5 or 6 times a week. He's a bloody good racer too. But he started, I think, before me, and he still only got like 200 something subs. So you really can't. I decided a long time ago that I was going to make YouTube for trying to build an audience. I'm just going to use YouTube for something that I like doing. So the stuff for China, I'll stick it on a different channel. Try and do a different style. Learn something new. What I'd probably want to get into in the future is not so much having my own channel, but doing editing. I'd like to get into color grading, but then I look at the color grading things and think, oh, it's all too hard. The thing about editing is that you don't need to have color grading equipment. You can have a crap monitor, as long as you've got a decent PC, but with color grading, you need to have a color grading monitor. And it's hard to justify buying one of those when I don't make any money. But I like doing editing. I don't know if I do it very well. It's all about practice. One of my videos, my old housemate watched it when we went to Yumcha last week. And she laughed so hard, she's like, oh, that looks like a, what did she say? It was like a, not PowerPoint presentation, but something like that from the 2000s. What did she say? I was like, shut up. That was just a default DaVinci Resolve text. But I won't be using that one again. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I think I could get into editing, because I actually like editing. The hardest part for me is stopping editing, because I like to try and just refine things. A lot of the times I spend way too long on like 10 seconds of the video trying to do something that I've got in my mind, which I technically know I can do, but I've got to learn how to do it, realize I did it wrong, redo it, and then realize that I've spent so much time on 10 seconds of the video and the rest of it needs to be done. Which I don't mind, because I haven't got a time. It's not like I'm getting paid to do it in 2 days. But I do like watching editing videos, how to edit, different styles of editing. The hardest part is just sticking to the editing and trying not to get sucked into the graphics side of it. Because really, like DaVinci Resolve, you've got 5 different specialties in one. People that edit don't do color grading. People that edit don't do graphics. So it's very easy to be sucked into trying to do graphic artist stuff as well as editing. I'm watching Ethan's, speaking of Ethan, I'll be off soon. I'm watching Ethan's videos. He loves reading his books, but that doesn't get him to sleep for some reason, unless he's extremely tired. I've made some videos for him, and he absolutely loves the videos. If he's screaming his head off, tired and exhausted, cranky, really wants his mum or something, and she's not available because she's working, I stick on this video of Bubbles with his grandparents, his mum, and he just sits there and watches it, and it calms him down. And then there's ducks in the video. He absolutely loves ducks and dogs, but ducks, he just absolutely adores looking at ducks. So much so that if you say, where's the duck? No matter what he's doing, you look for it. Insta360. Speaking of editing, yes, you pretty much got to stick with auto with those. I used to have a 360. The hardest part was, like, the good thing is you could pretty much, you go for a bike ride and you could use that footage for about 50 videos. But the hardest part is, which is the hardest part of editing, is what do you leave on the table? What do you cut? And with 360 cameras, you have so much footage, so many angles. You could film 10 seconds and still make an hour's worth of footage. So when I had my Insta360, actually it was paralysis because I just couldn't decide what part I wanted. Then I ended up making a really crap video. The other thing about the 360 that I had, this X5 is better because it's got better resolution. I think mine was 5.6K for 360 degrees. The X5 is 8K. So for those that don't know, 360 has obviously a 360 degree point of view, but compared to a GoPro, it's not 8K footage because the GoPro's only got a certain spot. I think it's 120 degrees or 110. So you can imagine 360 divided 110. The resolution for a GoPro is far higher than 8K. So with the 360s, you've really got to concentrate on things close by you. Because if you try and see things up in the distance, it's just muddy. So they're great fun, but you've got to do different styles. Yeah, especially because you can export it in ProRes. ProRes means that if you've got a crap computer, you can easily edit the footage, but the files are 10 times larger. I think they can export H.265, but again, not many older PCs can do H.265. They can do H.264. So, and the phone, I think the editing on the phone seems to be better than the computer because you can use all the AI stuff. But when I had it, I just did all the quirky, fun videos. Not so much bullet time. I did that about 1 million times as well as a tiny planet, but then I got sick of that. But just cool transitions. Yeah. The annoying thing too, which I found with mine, is that I think my one anyway seemed to kill the memory card quickly. I had to keep formatting it once I'd download everything off it and then format it again, otherwise it had errors. Another purchase announcement, which I'll probably say now because I'm not going to be telling anyone until I get back from China, because it's in China, is I got an Insta360 Flow 2 Pro gimbal for my iPhone. So at the moment I'm just holding up my selfie stick. It's really annoying in terms of, because I'm using the good camera, I can't see exactly what I'm seeing. And also, the footage is shaky. But the biggest thing is when I was in China last time using my iPhone, I'd be taking footage along the river. Every time I took a step, you could see, because it was low light, it wasn't in the daytime, you could see the steps in the frame, like the screen would go a bit blurry as the lines got jumped, because it was a low light. And so I couldn't really use the footage. Like I could have thrown it up there, but like watching it when I'm editing, it's like, oh, it's just trash. Just not use it. Because I've got my GH6, which is micro four thirds, but it's still a mirrorless camera, and it looks so much better. If you're holding the iPhone still, it looks good. It doesn't look as good as the GH6, but when you're moving the GH6, or both of them, when you're moving both of them, the GH6 looks much better. So what I'll do is I'll use the gimbal for my vlogs, but also it'll be helpful for when I'm doing a one-man show. I can stick it on the ground and it will keep me in frame. None of this having to chuck the footage away because I'm only filming this part of my head or this part of my body. What do you think of Ruby, John? I tried to get onto it. We talked about it on the Zwifty chats ages ago. I said, all right, I'm going to get onto Ruby because apparently it's really popular. Although I've never heard anyone besides you now talk about it. And the very first ride video that they get me to ride, it just felt crap. B, I realised I didn't have virtual gearing, so then that put me off. I know you can use virtual gearing, but still. But the thing that threw me off enormously was the sides. Each side had blur because it wasn't a full 16:9 or something. I think they'd filmed it on something else. And it just looked trash. And then I realised, I remember I'd ridden Ruby ages ago and hadn't changed. And I really dislike riding. If you're riding at a much slower or faster speed than the video, actually I think it's better if you go faster. But because you're riding at a video, it just feels odd. I think I've ridden around, yeah, I've ridden around Yarra Bend with it before. No dickheads on it. See, I think the only time I'd use it is if I was using it for a course that I might be training on or racing on. When I did Yarra Bend, it kind of went, oh, okay, yeah, I can sort of see this, but I just didn't like riding on the video because as far as I remember, there's no like proper shadows and things. It's all weird. But if you like it, that's good, because it doesn't matter what I think. But anyway, I downloaded and deleted it about 10 minutes later. But the annoying thing was, I forgot about my sub, because you have to sign up. You can't do, you do free sub, but you've got to give your payment details, and then you've got to cancel. I forgot to cancel, so I paid for an extra, well, I paid for the first month. God damn it. Yeah, but I've cancelled my subscription, John. I can't, it's a bit like Zwift now. Like, now that I've used the free sub, I can't ride it ever again without paying for it. I don't want to be paying for a sub on Zwift and Ruby. It's the reason why I don't ride Training Peaks anymore. Because I'd like to ride on Training Peaks, but I don't think I have my free sub anymore. You can. I don't know if you should trust me. Sell it to grey market. Fund my editing addictions of buying. I've got a 16 terabyte hard disk and I keep buying SSDs. I'll be taking 4 terabytes of SSDs to China. I've also got, so that's the other thing I've been doing in China. I've been doing photo walks. I don't know if you call it a photo walk if you're by yourself, but I'll be by myself walking around taking photos of street photos. And I've got black and white film to go on my real camera, so I can pretend to be a right knobhead. Only thing is, I've got to make sure, this is the annoying thing about having film, is that you load the film onto the camera, which is fine. But say if you go to, like in China, when you go through the subways, you have to go through the radar screens. Radar checks. Radar. Radar. You have to go through security checks. And then the X-ray everything. You can't X-ray film because it just ruins the film and just exposes it to whatever the rays are. So if it's in my camera, I'm not sure how it goes in China when I go through security. Whether I can just go, look, I've got my camera here with film in it. Just have a look at it. It's not a bomb. So what I'll have to do is just load my film and then take the bus everywhere. If I go, I'll just walk. And then it's not too bad when I travel. So when I travel, I obviously can't load film into the camera before the airport. So you just give the film to them, they hand inspect it, and they give it back to you. I am thinking about getting it developed in China, but I don't think I have enough time. So when I come back from China, whatever I've shot, I've got to make sure then they don't X-ray it again as well. They're pretty good with it. I've got no worries about asking them to do it. The issue will be is if I forget, I leave it in my bag and then they X-ray it. Yeah, real film. Because I got my proper, like I got my mirrors, got my mirrorless camera, but I picked up a real film camera, which is almost as old as me, because it had a lens, which actually, this is a lens I'm using. So this is the lens that I picked up from the Brotherhood of St. Lawrence, which is a charity shop, for $60 or something. So I could stick this lens on this, or that lens on this to do this. But then also I stick that lens on my film camera. I can't stick the lenses from my mirrorless camera onto the film camera because they don't work. A box brownie. No, it's I should remember what it's called. They've actually still going. Ricoh, R-I-C-O-H. They've actually released a brand new point and shoot camera, not film camera, but it's quite popular with the trendies. But it's Super 35. But I'm taking black and white. I never shot in black and white before because I have used colour. And the thing about colour, I like doing it because the thing is obviously the fact that I've taken a picture like a real person and it's actually worked. Not I just keep pressing the button until what I see on screen looks good. But I'm taking black and white because it's actually one thing it does better than digital cameras, black and white. If I take a colour photo, it looks probably not as good as my digital camera. It does look slightly better in some ways, like roll-offs and stuff, but I don't know enough to be able to be certain. But I want to do black and white because in China, everything looks old even though it's not. The weirdest thing about the suburb I'm going to, or the district in China, is it looks like it's about 100 years old. It's actually built in 1988 was when they first started building the buildings there. But it's just got so much what I'd sort of call texture and character. Being here in Melbourne, we've got quite a lot of sort of cool things to take photos of. But when I go to China, you just walk down any of the laneways and there's just a story in every laneway. Having said that, I'll probably take some terrible photos. But some of my favourite photos I've taken have been literally walking down the street from Whitney's parents' place. Just taking pictures. And the great thing about China is that because you don't have privacy, no one cares about people standing in front of them taking a photo. You can literally walk up to a person and stand 10 foot from them, point the camera at them a couple of times. They'll just keep chatting to their friend. Maybe someone will get the shits, but there's cameras everywhere. You pay for things with you. Like Whitney was so excited because you go to the shops, put your items there, look at the screen, and then it goes, okay, you've just paid because it's linked to your bank account. Yeah, the instant. When I was a kid, that was like the coolest thing to have. Was I forgot what they're called now. I should remember. But yeah, I know what you mean. You take a picture and it comes out. Polaroid, yeah, Polaroid. Because the biggest, like, I take a picture of a film and then I have to wait until I've finished every shot. You don't have to, obviously. You could take 2 shots and develop it. But you have to wait till you've taken every shot. So instead of going, okay, I'll take 20 shots today and then more shots tomorrow, you're like, bang, 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 and take all your shots. And then you got to then go drop it off at the developers, wait for it to be developed, and they send it to you digitally. You can, like I picked up the prints later on, but it's, as they say, like you don't know what you're going to get. It's kind of exciting when you're like, oh, I've got them, I'm going to open them up, and then you can see to make sure that they actually worked, see if they're any good. But the hardest thing is you forget what you did to make the photo. Like you really need a notebook if you're going to be getting into the nitty gritty. Because sometimes I take a really good photo and I'm like, oh, did I under or overexpose that? I think I was overexposing them. But sometimes I might take 3 photos where I've gone overexposed and then underexposed. Because anyone on photography knows that you can expose, but whatever you're taking a photo of, the exposure is difficult. Because you take a picture of a person and the background's lighter or darker, the exposure can get thrown off. I had that when I went overseas. I did it when I was, speaking of which, 9/19, I got to get off. Yeah, when I went overseas for my Kentucky tour, as every Australian does, I bought maybe 2 Kodak cameras, throwaways. After the second day, so we did France, so did Paris and then somewhere else. I got sick of taking photos because everything was just end up looking the same. And then I never developed them because I got back home, was exhausted from my trip. I was like, oh yeah, I'll develop one later. I was working in hospitality at the time, so I kept on just working to get my money back. And then years later, I found my cameras again, and by then they're gone. I think I might not even developed them at all. I think so. Yes, that's the annoying thing. So I'm making sure every time I take photos now, I develop and then stick the print somewhere and never find them again. Anyway, I better go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hit that subscribe button. It's actually, I'm surprised how I've gotten almost to 1,000 subs doing these sort of stuff. All right, thanks for watching. I've got to count to 5 before I finish, so peace out.